It was the height of summer in Sydney, Australia. January 11th, 1965. The beaches were packed. Families lounged under umbrellas, surfers rode gentle waves, and children played along the shoreline. But for two teenage girls, Marianne Schmidt and Christine Sharrock, that Monday would be their last day alive. They were both 15, best friends, inseparable, full of laughter and youth. Marianne had recently emigrated from Germany with her family, 6 children trying to build a new life in Australia after their father's death. Christine lived nearby, often helping Marianne's mother and spending long afternoons with the Schmidts. That morning, the girls decided to take Marianne's younger siblings to the Wanda Beach in Cronulla, a popular seaside spot just south of Sydney. They packed sandwiches, towels, and a radio. It was meant to be a simple day of fun. No one knew they would never return. Around 1:30 in the afternoon, after hours of swimming and laughter, the wind picked up and the younger kids began to feel cold. Marianne and Christine told them to wait while they went to collect their belongings from the other side of the beach. The children watched as the 2 girls disappeared over the sand dunes. That was the last time anyone saw them alive. The following morning, a young boy walking his dog stumbled upon something in the dunes. At first, he thought it was driftwood, until he saw hair tangled in the sand. The bodies of Marianne and Christine were found side by side, partially buried. The wind had covered them overnight, but their towels, shoes, and belongings were still nearby, as if time itself had stopped. Both girls had been brutally attacked. The scene told a story of a desperate struggle, footprints circling, marks in the sand, signs they had fought hard. Their bathing suits were torn. A knife had been used, but the weapon was never found. And from that moment, the Wanda Beach murders became one of Australia's darkest mysteries. Police immediately launched one of the largest manhunts in Australian history. More than 7,000 people were questioned: locals, lifeguards, tourists, anyone who had been near the beach that day. Witnesses came forward with chilling fragments of memory. A tall, fair-haired man in his 20s, walking with 2 girls who matched the victims' descriptions. He carried a small transistor radio. Some said he seemed friendly. Others said he was watching them. But his name was never found. Every clue led to another dead end. As the years passed, new names surfaced. Men who fit the profile, who lived nearby, who had dark pasts. One was Christopher Wilder, an Australian-born predator who later became a serial killer in the United States. He was known for targeting young women, and he was living in Sydney at the time of the murders. Another was Derek Percy, a convicted child murderer described by authorities as a sadistic loner. He, too, was in the area that summer, and later confessed to crimes disturbingly similar in nature. But whenever police pressed further, something always fell apart. Lack of evidence. Missing links. The sands of time erased the truth piece by piece. Detectives returned to the case repeatedly in the 70s, the 90s, even the 2000s. They tested what little physical evidence remained, hoping that modern DNA could reveal what the 1960s couldn't. But the samples were too degraded, too old, too fragile. In the end, there were no matches, no breakthroughs, only unanswered questions. Today, more than 60 years later, the waves at Wanda Beach still roll calmly onto the shore. Families walk across the same dunes. Children play where 2 teenage girls once laughed, unaware of what happened beneath their feet. There's no memorial there, just the sound of the ocean, and a name, whispered through time. Marianne Schmidt, Christine Sharrock, 2 best friends who never came home, and a killer who vanished into thin air. If stories like this one remind you how fragile truth can be, subscribe and help keep their memory alive. Because somewhere out there, someone still knows what happened on that summer day in 1965.